friends, it's Gwen and I'm back today with another scrapbooking process video. Today's share is for Cut to You and I do have a plan. I'm going to be pulling out the Cocoa Vanilla Studio These Days collection for this page. And I am going to be scrap lifting myself. So last year, 2021, I created a layout for my work on the Cocoa Vanilla Studios design team, and it was a layout called Grade 5. What I will do is I'll pop an image for it somewhere here for you so you can see. And I'm going to use the same idea and the same sort of sketch and plan to create this layout, and I'm going to be calling this one Grade 3. Okay, so this cut file is actually called Grade School, and I did design it on purpose to be used this way. So the idea was that it would be a design that could be used through every grade, so from 1 to year 12. And that each year you would highlight a different number within the design in maybe a different pattern paper or in some way. So I have done that here with the green. So the word grade is in green, and then because I'm documenting grade 3, the number here is in green as well to match. In my previous layout, I was documenting grade 5. So for that one, I had a really bright pop of pink for the word grade and then the number 5. So I am going to center the cut file on the page. It's nice and large, which I like. And I'm going to go with this wood grain background. I want something that's going to give a little bit of contrast. And then to help pull everything together, I'm going to use that same green pattern paper that I used for the title to be the border, and also my photo mat. I find that I do that quite a bit, and it's just a really easy way to help the layout feel put together. You don't really have to think about it. As long as it's the same color pattern paper that works with the cut file, the background color and your photo, you're good to go. With all of that sorted, I'm now able to go through the embellishment packs that I have and pull out some bits and pieces that I think will work. I do my usual sweep. I exclude anything straight away that I know I'm not going to want to use, and I get that out of my space so that I can only have and focus on the things that I think might work. I also fussy cut out those butterflies that you see there on the left. They're from a pattern paper in the collection. I choose a small selection of florals to use as well. This collection came with a really big packet of floral die cuts, leaves and all kinds of florals, and there was a lot in there, so I did just want to narrow that down to the really nice apricots and yellows for this page. And I'm going to pretty much stick to the same design as the layout that I'm scrap lifting. This page will go in the same album as the other layout, and that doesn't bother me. Often when I'm scrap lifting myself, it even goes into a different album, so no one's going to know that it's sort of the same design, or no one in my family will know anyway. And I don't even think they'll notice for this one. There'll be the year 4 pages in between these, so they won't be one page after another. And yeah, I just don't think they'll mind. So I don't mind. Yeah, it's an interesting one because I was creating this layout at a time when I was feeling quite overwhelmed. I had a lot going on, and I really like scrapbooking. For me really is very therapeutic. So I don't want to have a situation where I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed out and then feel this pressure of creating something good, or I don't want to have to deal with any of that. So a scrap lift for this layout was actually like perfect timing. I love how it turned out. I feel that it's probably a little bit underrated and I should do more of it. For me, I feel like I might do a couple more layouts like this, just especially on those days when it's all a bit much and I just want to get in and make something and I don't want to think too hard about it. I don't want to have this pressure of a perfect page. I can just use something that I know already works, use a formula that already works for me and replicate that. So while I've been chatting away, I have locked in the position of the photo down there in the bottom right hand corner. That is the same as the original layout. It does get a little bit different as I go about making my embellishment clusters and I start to think about the flow of the page, mainly because of the difference in the title. So obviously on the first layout it was grade 5, so I had featured that number 5 that's directly above the photo. In this case, I'm doing grade 3, so the 3 is more towards the left there. So I kind of felt like I needed to have a bit more embellishments down the bottom here towards the left, and then something to balance it out near the A and the D in the word grade. So that's sort of going to end up being my 3 points. So one at the top between A and D, one at the top right hand corner of the photo, and then the embellishment cluster towards the left of the photo. The beautiful thing about this collection is that there were so many different things to work with. It actually came with, so wooden embellishments, there were die cut pieces, I believe there's puffy stickers from memory, and there's these gorgeous glitter heart shapes that are like puffy material, really, really lovely. So it was really nice to mix and match all of those elements and just have a little play with everything. My embellishment clusters are really just a bunch of layers. I start with the largest piece at the bottom, generally speaking, and then I work my way by adding smaller medium-sized embellishments on top, floral pieces and things, and then the small details on the very top layer. I also talk a little bit about it on my channel. I haven't mentioned it in a while, but I do keep in mind the line that the cluster makes. So if you were going to draw a line around the shape of the cluster, you want that line to be really interesting. So you don't want your cluster to be like a box and square and straight. You want all of the intersecting lines and elements within the cluster to make an interesting shape. I might do an embellishment video perhaps and maybe explain that a little bit better. But I hope you get what I mean. So between the different layers and the different sized embellishments and then the lines that I make around the outside of the embellishment cluster, that's what makes them interesting. And I try to position them in a way that looks like they haven't been placed. So a way that seems natural, especially when I'm working with florals. I try and make it look like they've just landed on the page just beautifully like that. Try not to force things too much. And I found that for me, that's the best way to achieve a really nice embellishment cluster look. Things are getting serious. I'm gluing everything down. I do like to place most of the pieces first. And then once I'm really happy with everything, then I'll go back and add a liquid adhesive. I've officially converted to Nouveau Deluxe. I'm not using my Scotch very much at all. And I have found that since I've stopped using it every single day, that bottle just gets clogged up. So I feel like the reason I never had problems with that in the past was because I was using it every single day. And now that I'm mixing and matching adhesives and using the Nouveau more, it was clogging up. So I've officially switched over. So my friend Tara will be very happy to hear that. So it's at this point you get to see a really good look at the flow of the page. I have a lot going on sort of more towards the right hand side and then that heavier embellishment cluster down the bottom. I'm going to add in a few of these accessory sticker sentiments. I love these things. They're really lovely sort of finishing touch to the layout. I like to add them with the foam adhesive behind. I just find that that little bit of dimension on them is really nice as well. And I think I'm going to call the layout done. Thank you so much for being here, my creative friends. If you like the way that I scrapbook or the way that I chat about the way that I scrapbook, I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my creations, be sure to click the subscribe button. A big welcome to all my new subscribers. I've had quite a few, especially in the last few months. So big welcome. So glad that you are here. I hope my pages inspire you and get you creating. That's the plan. And I love that we get to create together. Any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd also love to know, do you scrap lift yourself, and have you found that to be a really enjoyable way to create like I have? And yep, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, bye.